Airplane autopilot systems were invented over 100 years ago, which changed flying forever.
There it is.
Probably when the autopilot systems were launched for the first time, pilots were worried about losing their jobs because of the technology. Just like some people are worried because of GitHub Copilot. If you do some research on the internet, you can still find news stating that pilots will lose their jobs because of autonomous systems. However, we still see pilots doing their jobs and flying aircrafts. I think fear of autopilots is somewhat similar to fear of GitHub Copilot. GitHub Copilot is essentially an AI tool that should help us to write better code in less time. It differs from traditional code auto-completion tools because GitHub Copilot can generate code based on the context. So the promise is you type the function name and define the function, and GitHub Copilot will generate the implementation code for you. It sounds like a fantastic and very beneficial tool for many programmers, but at the same time it sounds scary. The argument is, what if GitHub Copilot becomes so perfect that software developers would lose their jobs just like Uber affected taxi industry? Although Uber affected the taxi industry, drivers of those taxis are nowadays Uber drivers, right? So they didn't just disappear, but their job title, job structure, competition, and salary changed. In that case, if GitHub Copilot would be so perfect, we wouldn't lose our jobs, but instead our job's context would change. For example, your new job could be defining specifications and generating code using GitHub Copilot. Since it would make software development easier, probably more companies would want to work on their own software products, and it would create more job opportunities. As with the first iteration of any technology, probably GitHub Copilot is not mature enough yet. So it's likely that GitHub Copilot cannot solve every given problem at first. Of course, it should learn from our code and improve itself, since the current version of GitHub Copilot is trained with open source projects mainly. That's why, in the beginning, it might not meet your expectations, but probably by the time it will get better and better. Would you ever get on a plane with no pilot? There are industries where you don't want to make a mistake because some mistakes may even cost human lives. These industries include, but are not limited to, banking, governmental organizations, army, airplanes, cars, you name it. It would be a risk for such companies to rely on GitHub Copilot mostly. Therefore, I assume that if you're working in an industry where safety is essential and problems are more unique, you shouldn't worry about GitHub Copilot so much. Everything has a cost, but what are the costs of using GitHub Copilot? Number one cost, in my opinion, is losing programming skills.
Oh my god, the automatic pilot, it's deflating!
Of course, you would be still solving problems, but maybe it would be more like connecting puzzle pieces. Even having autocomplete option in our IDEs might affect us negatively when it comes to programming skills. Another problem would be, since you didn't write the initial implementation, debugging the code would be more challenging. As GitHub Copilot would make you to write code faster, it would mean probably for smaller companies having less developers involved in the development process. Thus, more people would be counting on you and you would have more responsibilities.
I just want to tell you both good luck. We're all counting on you.
Having more responsibility is not necessarily a bad thing, but it might make you more stressed. In addition to previous points, there's note in GitHub Copilot's webpage that there will be a commercial version of the tool available. It means that you might need to at some point pay for it once technical preview is done. However, in my opinion, if you are freelancing and speed and productivity is important for you, that might not be an issue. Last but not least, you need to be aware of possible legal issues with the GitHub Copilot.
I want you to understand, we don't do anything illegal.
The tool has been trained with open source projects, and there are some reports that sometimes when you're using GitHub Copilot, it might paste the exact same code from the dataset it has been trained with. And that might bring in itself legal trouble for you or your company. So be careful next time when you say,
"Did I use any of your code?"
Alright, that's all for this video. Let me know your thoughts on GitHub Copilot in the comment section below. See you in the next video.